Hey, welcome to the other side of the coin. It's been a while, episode 16, and I've got myself a lovely individual, one I thoroughly enjoy interacting with in football Twitter, and it's none other than Dami himself. So, Dami, welcome to the other side of the coin, my brother. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great, man. I'm so happy to be on here. As you can tell, I'm smiling like a 5-year-old child that's about to get some ice cream. So,
Nice,
let's get right into it.
nice. Nice, man. Look, I had an absolute ball in your podcast, and I'm so happy to have you in my channel. Yeah, man, I'm really buzzing. It's sad that I couldn't get Josh in here. Would have been great if we could have had both of you guys talking, in this particular episode. But nonetheless, you're here, and I know you had a rough night. You've
Not
been up quite late.
necessarily. Yeah, I have been. I mean, but I'm fine. I'm fine. So,
Awesome. All right, let's get cracking over here. So what we want to talk about today is, some interesting topics. Not necessarily any particular game in detail. We want to talk about our winning streak that we've had in recent times. We'll talk about the clean sheets that we've kept in recent times as well, and what your perception is as to how we are achieving those, I suppose. We want to talk about the Ajax game, not necessarily, the whole game in itself. It's more the magnitude of that win and what it means for the fan, basically, on that match. And lastly, finish it off with, the feature match that we have upcoming very soon is against Burnley. What your expectation is around that. So before we get going, first of all, welcome Ramit for coming in live. Just a quick favor, Ramit, if you could do us a huge favor, do you mind tweeting that link so that other people can join in as well? Meanwhile, I'll let some of the other guys in our group chat as well who's willing to come in live on this. Hopefully they'll join us. Here we go. We got Michaela. Michaela, welcome in, man. Welcome in. All right, let's get this cracking.
you can send me that link as well.
Dami?
I can tweet it out again.
Yeah. I think it's just here we go. James is here as well. I think it's just straight from my YouTube channel. So if you go to my YouTube channel, Dami, you should see the link. James, it'd be much appreciated, brother, if you could just retweet that or even send that link to us in our group. I think you already have. And then Dami will just retweet that out. Welcome, Amir. Thank you for joining. So guys, let's get cracking into it. First of all, we want to talk about the winning streak, Dami. Now, it's 6 out of 6. Hopefully we go into 7 out of 7 later today. As a fan, firstly, I want to hear you from a fan's perspective. As a fan, what does this 6 out of 6 winning streak mean to us? And the second question that I want to touch on, and it'll be a nice segue, is what does this mean to our young players that we have in our team? Obviously, some of the older players have gone through streaks before in their careers. Some of the younger ones, the youth academy players, this is probably something new for them, and what that means from their perspective. So first of all, as a fan, and then as a player, take it away.
I mean, for me as a fan, at the beginning of the season, if you had told me we'd have a 6-win streak by this point during the season, I would have told you we're capping, or basically you're lying. But I mean, oh man, I'm so happy right now. Like, to be a Chelsea fan right now is everyone is just looking at this project and they're like, oh damn, look at what Chelsea's up to with the youth players. We haven't spent any money whatsoever. Brand new manager, like brand new set of players, and we've come in and we've got a 6-win streak and we beat Ajax. Like, not necessarily convincingly, but it's Ajax, for God's sake. So, like, I'm really happy that we're able to grind out a win against Ajax. But yeah, like, as a fan, this is absolutely amazing. I just hope we can keep on for longer as well. And like, so the Lampard haters, I mean, I wasn't like the biggest fan. I'm very upfront, so I'm very honest as well. I wasn't the biggest fan when we got him on. Like, initially, I was like, oh, I mean, I love Lampard. I mean, I have some jerseys right here with his name at the back of them from like when I was 8 years old. So I've loved Lampard for most of my life anyways. I mean, most of what I can remember. But yeah, as a manager, I was a bit skeptical. But now he's I think, I mean, once again, I don't like to be too pessimistic or too optimistic. He's taking it away, like my negative thoughts for now, at least for now. I hope he can carry it on. But yeah, that's what I think. That's from a fan's perspective. When you say from the youth players, these guys have gotten quite a lot of stick from people on Twitter, man. Honestly, it's. I mean, we don't tell Twitter, don't we? Like, it's hell.
It's crazy. It's insane.
It's hell, man. It's hell. So like, for them, I mean, 21, 19, 20, they're all very young and they've already got on a 6-match win streak. That's absolutely amazing, man. I mean, for them, I'm sure, like, and Lampard must be, because once you have someone like Lampard who believes in you so much and you start, like, you know, that feeling you get when you repay the trust, like, that someone has put in you. Do you get what I mean? Like, yeah, exactly. So for them, it must be absolutely over the moon, man. I can't, like, imagine being in that dressing room right now. Like, I mean, the older players probably know how it feels like, yeah, but I'm sure some of them even had doubts themselves that the youth players be able to. I mean, they come out and be like, during the press, they're like, oh, like, this guy has potential, that. I mean, that's pretty standard. Like, they're not going to shit on their own teammates, if you get what I mean. But I'm sure this has probably raised the spirit even higher. I mean, they're all friends and everything, but definitely this has taken it to the next level, man.
Absolutely, man. Cannot agree, you know, more than that. For me, I think this winning streak, you know, from a youth player perspective, if I was a youth player, like let's say I'm Mason Mount, you know, for a second, you know, imagine I'm Mason Mount. I'm looking at this streak and I'm not wanting to let it go. Like I feel like I want to get my 7th, the 8th. I'm pumped. And I'm not taking anything away from the senior players. I get senior players are probably pumped as well, but you know they've seen it. They've seen it before. They've won titles before. So for them, it's like 6 out of 6. So what? You know, we've done 13, we've done 14. So you know, it's not a huge deal for them. But for a youth player, you know, someone like you know Tomori as well, or even Tammy Abraham, I feel like they're gonna protect this streak so much, and they're really gonna want to. Carry this on and build something huge out of it, and that's what I like about this streak. And you know they seem very confident as well, and you can see every time we're winning now what it means to them. That winning goal, you see the celebration on every player. It just means so much to them. Do you sort of feel the same sentiment as well?
I do, but like thing is like. I don't know. Can I use like British, like a bit of like slang on here? Like I don't
absolutely,
know.
man.
I don't get what's going on.
You go wild.
It's like think about it, man. It's Mount, it's Abraham, it's Odoi, it's that's Mandem. Do you get what I mean? Like they did it. Like they've got. So imagine being a child, yeah, like a child up in the ends or something. I mean, I think Tammy's from Peckham or something like that. That's like I wouldn't say necessarily rough, but yeah, it's kind of like a rough area around London, yeah. But the thing is, imagine starting from the bottom now and here sort of thing. Now we're on 6 wins on the bounce. Nah, fam, nah. For them, they're going to defend this with their chest, man. Like I wish I was like obviously I don't think I'm good enough to play professional football, definitely not. But like I mean, for them, like I can't even begin to imagine doing something of that caliber with my friends, my good friends. I mean, they've been there since they were like 8 or something. So they all gel very well. That's why I mean we can talk about Pulisic later, but obviously you can't just a lot of people come on and say, "Oh, Pulisic is getting along with them very well."
Yeah,
he's American for starters. He's lived. I mean, he moved to Germany recently, so he was got to use the culture there. And like these guys are like, this isn't like football aside. These guys are good friends. All of them are good friends. You see them when they celebrate with each other. Nah, they're all really good friends. You can't just break into. If I've learned anything in university, you can't just break into a friendship group like instantly. Do you get what I mean? So like,
exactly.
He's not nowhere near. He doesn't. I mean, that's pretty just like. But generally speaking, man, they're going to defend this with their chest, and I hope they can, so they can prove some certain individuals wrong. But I prefer not to mention any names.
No, absolutely, man. Yeah, you're right. Look, the group looks so tight knit, and as you said, they're going to protect this. You know, they've all played with each other for so long, and they're going to protect this. Quick shout out to Adam Donahoe. He's
Boy.
written a comment here saying people doubted Mason, including me, but I think he's thriving in the 8th position right now. Look, yeah, I must agree. A lot of people don't understand Mason Mount's role. They want him to be more creative. And look, yeah, sure, he can develop into that, but for now, he's doing everything what Frank wants from him. He wants the high intensity, energy, high pressing, win the ball high up the pitch, and really create chaos with that press. We've already seen a couple of goals that's come through that. So, he's doing what he's been asked to do, and I'm sure he can develop into even more of a complete player down the track. Now, moving into the next topic, clean sheets. Now, this was turning into a bit of a banter earlier this season where, oh man, we're not getting any clean sheets. Every time people would tweet, what's your score prediction? Everyone will have that one. They'll be like 3-1, 4. they'll have the one. And it got to a point where you're like, well, why do you have that one? Oh, it's Chelsea, man. It's Chelsea. We can't keep a clean sheet. But nonetheless, over the last 6 games, I believe we've got ourselves 3 clean sheets, 2 back-to-back clean sheets as well against some, Ajax, top-notch European team. Man, that is, man, I'll get goosebumps talking about this, actually. That was fantastic.
Tomorrow had the balls and the confidence to do the Cruyff turn in the Cruyff.
Oh, man.
And we still kept the clean sheet. Nah. I'm gassed. I'm properly gassed. I'm not going to get carried away, but I'm gassed.
Absolutely, and let's not forget the Newcastle one as well. Obviously we had most of the balls. They were set up, low block defense, but when they counted, we needed to be alert. And I'm really, really happy about these clean sheets. Now, what I want to ask you is, from your perspective, what seems to be the change? We've gone from letting in goals, silly goals, ridiculous goals from Azpilicueta's side, ridiculous goals from defensive errors in our centre-back positions. Midfield, forwards, the gap was always too much, but that seems to be reducing as well. From your perspective, what do you think over the last couple of games and this winning streak, the recipe has been for clean sheets?
If I'm going to be honest with you, I think it's 2 things. Oh no, a couple of things actually. On the last 2, you get what I mean. One, for starters, I think, and as much as I dislike to say, but once again, I'm very, very direct and honest. So for me, I don't care if I've hated the player for a long time, but one thing that has really contributed is the fact that Azpilicueta and Alonso, you have to give them credit where credit is due. They've been playing very, very well. Obviously, I prefer them to play at a higher standard, but they're playing so much. Do you guys remember Azpilicueta at the start of the season? Nah, Azpilicueta was atrocious. He let in so many goals from the right-hand side. And I don't know if it's because Reece James is fit now, coincidence, I don't know. I don't even know who's going to start later on today. But bottom line is, they've both been playing very well. Did you see Azpilicueta against Ajax?
I haven't seen
that much energy. I didn't know he had that much energy in him. Do you get what I mean? A class thread from you as well, Miz. I saw what your thread on Azpilicueta as well. But he had so much energy. Alonso down, he has realized his disabilities. Yeah. And he's not he's trying, he's realized disabilities and he's kind of toned down his attacking a bit just to defend a bit more.
Yeah, realizing the limitations. They're realizing the limitations, playing within that.
And also, I think, is it just me or Lampard has kind of told Azpilicueta to not attack as much as he used to at the beginning of the season? I think that's also another thing that's contributed to that as well. No, I'm not taking anything away from Azpilicueta because he has improved significantly from what we saw at the beginning of the season. But I think Lampard as well noticed that Azpilicueta is not Reece James, and he was never really known for his attacking. So I think he toned down on that a bit as well. But yeah, Azpilicueta and Alonso. Another thing that James just mentioned as well, which I was going to say, is Zuma and Tomori, that partnership. I'm not the biggest fan of Zuma, not going to lie to you. Up front, I'm going to say right now, I'm not the biggest fan. If he does well, yeah, great. He was quite good against Ajax, definitely. But Tomori and Zuma have been really, really important. It's been really, really important to get things going. Really, really important. Yeah, those 3 things. I think that's the reason. And to be fair, we played against Newcastle, so I don't think there was a better game to get your first, to start consecutive clean sheets. I'm hoping for a clean sheet against Burnley today. But I mean, those guys are set piece merchants. And you know how we've been against set pieces this season. We'll talk about that much later. But I mean, for me, to get a clean sheet against Newcastle, I'm excited because we haven't been keeping clean sheets. But on regular day, I mean, it's Newcastle. You know what I mean? But there wasn't a better team to start. Like, then we get a clean sheet against Ajax. Against Ajax. Are you mad? What? Ajax? That's like one of the best attacking teams in the world, and we get the clean sheet. Like I said, Tomori did the Cruyff turn in the Cruyff reel, and he dropped the body. Oh my God, man. What do you mean? What do you even mean? I mean, Gomez was offside, millimeters offside, man. Millimeters. I mean, I saw some clowns trying to debate, he kicked the ball. I mean, fam, it's football. I mean, obviously, if I have happy lived it, but like, it's football, innit? So, like, for me, I mean, defensively, we're getting a lot better. Again, I'm just trying to see what happens when we get MS and Reece back.
It's gonna be saucy, man. It's gonna be saucy.
I think that's what has changed defensively. I don't think it's too tactical. I mean, obviously Lampard has told them to tone down the attacking because I haven't seen Aspilicueta bomb down the right aimlessly for a while now. But and Alonso have definitely stepped up their game. I think that's the main thing, in my opinion. Tomorrow and Zuma is very key, but I think that's the main thing as well.
Yeah, look, I definitely agree with the points that you've mentioned. What I would just add to that is, as per what James was saying as well, Zuma and Tomori, the partnership has been key. I think they've been able to play a few games together, so they're starting to understand. So that chemistry, as we always said, rotation is great, obviously, but consistency creates chemistry. It's very, very important, and we can now see, both of them reading each other's play much better. Where we've seen, Tomori make silly errors, Zuma's gone in and covered for him. Where Zuma's made silly errors, Tomori's gone in and covered for him. And to your point, just before you get in as well, I completely agree where I think Frank realizes the limitations of Alonso and Aspilicueta. Yeah. He understands they are not modern day fullbacks. However, he still knows they have something to offer, and he maximizes that. Yeah. He goes, well, Aspilicueta, you're not that great going forward, so what you're going to do for me is you're going to be solid at the back for me. I don't want any mistakes in the right side. And that's what I'm seeing. Alonso, you're probably not the greatest when you're going forward. Yes, you can score a goal here and there, but once again, tighten up your defense. We've got wingers that are going to be explosive. You've got Calamantanador, you've got Willian. So we don't need you to constantly overlap. And I've noticed that they're more underlapping. They're more playing in the insides of the wing. So they're allowing the wingers to be very wide. And you've got Alonso.
Against Newcastle, right?
Yeah. I've seen quite a few times. I mean, don't get me wrong. They do still overlap at times. But most times they try and stay inside of them, allowing the wingers to be further wide. And the last thing that I've noticed as well is the gap. The gap between forwards, midfield, defense is shrinking. It's getting smaller. And I'll tell you why. My reason I've seen in the Ajax game and in the Newcastle game is they're running, man. They are running. As soon as they get caught out of position, you see the midfield run straight away and cover for that. Mount is running. Not many people are noticing this. Mount is tracking back and he's making sure there is no gap in between. Kovacic, Jorginho, Tammy is coming back. So, what's your thoughts around that, man? If you've been noticing that as well.
I wanted to. That's what exactly that, and I wanted to talk about tomorrow. And that's exactly what I wanted, because I absolutely battered Lampard at the beginning of the season for that massive gaping 20-meter hole. Do you get what I mean? Like, it was absolutely atrocious. That's how we got dismantled against Manchester United. Do you remember that? I can't believe we got Manchester United 4-0. That just shows you how well our season has been going, man. And I'm no longer too upset about Leicester as well. Did you see what happened yesterday? Let's not talk about murder this time. Let's talk about murder this time.
I think Matisse covered that.
Matisse definitely covered that. But man, generally speaking, like Lampard has, I mean, I'm going to give him credit where it's due. I keep saying this and I have to keep on saying it because I like the fact that I'm very honest and like brutal about it. I mean, I critiqued him at the beginning, but now he's definitely showing me that he knows what he's doing. I don't know if it's Lampard, if it's Jody Morris, I don't know who it is, but someone in that backroom staff or Lampard himself is doing something correctly and definitely showing now. And also, like I said, I don't know if you remember the podcast episode we recorded. But like I said to you and Josh, I was like, when it comes to centre back partnerships, if anything is going to make sense, Tomori and Zuma or Tomori and Rudiger. Or
you did say.
Do you remember that?
You said that. You
like,
said
you can see they're complementing each other now.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So like, I mean, none of them are too vocal. I mean, none of them are vocal. But like, I'm trying to see Tomori and Rudiger as well. Let's see how that pans out. But obviously, Zuma and Tomori, they're building like a partnership, which I like. But I mean, that, like I said, I don't want to bring that point up. So like, foresight.
No, man, you said it. You said, I still remember. I remember you asking me, and I said, I think it's going to be Andreas Christiansen and Tomori, the best partnership. But you said him, and you said, hey, I think it's going to be Zuma and Tomori. And your preference was Rudiger, but obviously he was injured. Now, quick shout out to all the people that have joined us. Just once again, we've got Ramit, Michaela, James, Amia, Ramit, Adam, and we've got the football fan chat who said, King Dami. There you go, mate. You are the king. Quick read of some of these comments as well. Ramit has written, if you are Lampard and you don't select Pulisic in today's starting 11, then what will be your reason? Oh, man, I think he's out of reasons. There's no way where Pulisic doesn't start. I'm pretty confident he will start. Adams also said, one thing Lampard has improved the most in his is his substitutions. After Sheffield, he got slated by he has shown flexibility since. Absolutely agreed, man. I think his substitutions, his in-game management is spot on. And we're going to touch on this a little bit into our next topic, which is Ajax. Now, I know you've said it before. You're absolutely gassed. You are over the moon about that performance.
Amsterdam, get in.
Get
straight in.
From a fan's perspective, man, break down the emotions for me. Look, firstly, what I want to ask you a very interesting question because it kind of bothered me throughout that match, just before the match and after the match. A lot of, first of all, as we all remember, there was that reporter who was being a smartass to Frank Lampard, saying, "Oh, you look scared," or whatnot.
That is true.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate that from that journalist. I should probably do a video on him very soon. Give him the hand. and a lot of publications were out there that were constantly saying, "Ooh, can Chelsea cause an upset?" Now, what I want to ask you, was it really, really an upset? Like, are we? When did we become an underdog? Like, I get it. Ajax is a great team. They were fantastic last season. We are Chelsea. We've won shitload of stuff. I don't understand how we've become an underdog. And we were off a five match winning streak. We've got fantastic youth talent. So what I want to ask you is that, did you really think we were underdogs, or it was an upset that we beat them?
Truth is, like I said, I'm going to, so basically on my podcast, the one I recorded with SW6JD, I said that we were probably going to go with a 1-goal margin. I definitely said that we're going to concede, which we didn't, which I'm so happy about. I love being proven wrong, honestly, because there's nothing to lose. Everyone has integrity and all of that, but like at the end of the day, it's Chelsea that we're all here for at the end of the day. So, but when it comes to whether we're still a big team, Chelsea is still a gargantuan institution, as people would say on Twitter.
Absolutely.
But recently, I was talking to I think Kemal is in chat. I was talking to him, and like I was just like, the truth is, like, there are some things that are happening right now that if they, like, 3 years ago, if we played Ajax and we did not beat Ajax, I would have been mad. Do you get what I mean? 3 years ago, if we played Ajax, yes, the way we played them and beat them just 1-0, I wouldn't have been over the moon the way I am now, because Chelsea is still a massive institution. I mean, I'm not going to let a few seasons of like not having the best team in the Premier League like put me off. We're still a massive institution, if you ask me. But like at the end of the day, man, like right now, it's I can understand why people would call us underdogs because I mean, obviously, brand new manager, brand new like youth players and everything. Obviously, youth players are considered underdogs. Do you get what I mean? So that's natural. Yeah. And I like the fact that everyone's calling us the underdog. For them to say we upset Ajax, that's kind of a stretch. That's kind of a stretch for me. I don't think it was an upset. We're Chelsea, for God's sake. Like you said, like we are still Chelsea. We have a Champions League under our belt. Like, I mean, Liverpool. No Arsenal fans. Set piece match, but we won't get to that in this episode. But like at the end of the day, we are still Chelsea. But like, do I really think right for now, if someone called us underdogs, I wouldn't be too offended because it is kind of true, in my opinion, anyways, just because of the current situation. But give it next season when we've all proven them wrong. Because I mean, what's an underdog? Like you're like no one's expecting a lot from you. Then watch us. I hope. I mean, Lampard decided to get my hope, so I'm not going to try and get too excited right now. But just watch us do some amazing things this season. I mean, we're still getting to the December period, and I don't know how we're going to handle that. But like, let's see as it goes, man. Because for me personally, I'm not going to be too upset about being called an underdog for now.
Nah, fair point, man. And absolutely well said in a very eloquent manner. I love it. Now, second question in regards to that match. I know you've kind of touched on it, but from a fan's perspective, 6 out of 6 wins, that massive win against Ajax. What did it do to you, brother? Like, honestly, like, what did that mean to you? And do you have a message for that one journalist that was being a smartass to Frank Lampard?
That aged well. That aged very well, man. Like, it just all I can think of right now, honestly, I can't really put into words. You know that Mourinho gif? Always like, yeah, that's how it is for me right now, man. Like, honestly, like we beat Ajax, man. I mean, like I said just a couple of seconds ago, like okay, if this was 2 years ago, I wouldn't be like so gassed like this. But I mean, a lot has changed in 3 years. Ajax have gone way up, and we've obviously declined a bit. Do you get what I mean? It's difficult to say, but if you have to be objective, we're not at the level we were 3 years ago. Well, 3 years ago that was Conte, right?
Conte,
yeah, prime Conte. Like for me, bottom line is like right now, I'm gassed, man. The end, like Lampard's substitutions were fantastic. I mean, obviously substitutions, yeah, they were fine. I'm not going to take anything away from it. They were fantastic. Like Chelsea. I don't know who said, but somebody said something about my boy, Mason Mount. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know what it is with me and like players that everyone keeps attacking, but I love defending. Last season, I defended Jorginho with my chest, man, honestly. And now it's Mason Mount once again. I don't remember who said it, but somebody said that Mason Mount didn't allow Ajax to play the game too well. And if you watch that back, it is kind of true because the amount of pressure that Mount was putting on most of like the Ajax players in that match prevented them from playing them. Like, if you think about it, it was 1-0, yeah, and they definitely scored an offside goal. But we didn't really allow them to play their football. Have you seen Ajax's stats for like the past few games? They've been absolutely bashing people in. Like, you get what they haven't been hit. Like, they have Ziyech, they have Promise, they have Tadic. Like, they're out here to play, and we beat them relatively convincingly. Do you get what I mean? So I'm happy. I'm happy. Well, I mean, let's see how that transcribes to today's match, which we'll talk about later on, I guess.
Yeah, man, absolutely well said. I think for me, the most interesting part of that match was, and Frank touches on this post-match, it's the off-the-ball stuff that we did. We didn't have too much off the ball in the first half, but we were still dominant. Do you know what I mean? Like, dominant without the ball. It's what you're saying.
We're controlling Ajax is like we're allowing them to play their football. Yes,
exactly. And look, there were a few times, obviously, you know, they were into the goals, and there was some last-minute tackle from Azpilicueta. We did get lucky with that header that hit the post, but sometimes you have to be lucky in this level. Luck is huge. Exactly. So you've got to be lucky, and that's fine. But I feel like when we did have the ball as well, we weren't scared. We played from the back. We built up beautifully through Jorginho and Kovacic. Kovacic, second half specifically for me, was really, really fantastic.
Yeah.
In the first half, I know a lot of people were saying that they were still great, but for me, I was saying that they could have been a lot better. Jorginho and Kovacic, they have so much more. And in the first half, I feel like they could have been a lot better. But second half, complete control. They completely took over. And for me, it was very clear when that ball hit the post. You could see Ajax was like, we don't know what else to do anymore. We can't break them open completely. Promise missed a few as well. There was an offside goal and the last minute tackles. Jorginho with a fantastic, defensive play right at the end where we were still 0-0. And I knew at that point that as soon as Pulisic and Batshuayi came on, they were gonna get on these tired Ajax players, and we're gonna get that winner. And you would have seen I tweeted all before the goal. I'm feeling it. There's a goal coming. There's a goal coming. Pulisic is going to score. Batshuayi, something's going to happen, and it did. And fantastic. Fair play to us, and it was a great victory. And for me, making a 6 out of 6 with that particular win, it makes me think we are an absolute serious threat now to anyone out there, regardless of the competition, whether it's Champions League, whether it's the Premier League.
That's Man City and Liverpool, though.
I feel like we are very well positioned to play them, though. Like, we would compete now. Whether we
catch them is,
yeah. Like, I think we've got City next up after Burnley.
Jesus Christ.
Or maybe not. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure we'll go City very soon, and I feel like our team is getting ready. Our team is getting ready to play them. While you check that, I'll just read a couple of quick comments. Adam's written 23rd
of November.
Okay, so still a bit, still a bit more time. So yeah, Adam's written, Didier Drogba has said Jorginho is playing even better this season. It's so true. Didier knows. On to the last part of the segment before we close things out is Burnley. This is the feature match, obviously in a couple of hours' time. Not really, in a few more than a couple of hours' time. What I want to ask you is, firstly, is Pulisic starting for you, Dami?
See, look, I've been wanting him to start for a while now. This is the situation I was hoping for Lampard to be at the beginning of the season. Obviously, I'm a fan. I don't have a UEFA B license like some people claim to have. Like, I don't have certain things like, you know what I mean? Some people come out here like, I'm not roasting anyone, yeah. But like, you get like, I don't have any of those like. I feel like I targeted some people intentionally there, but like, I don't have some of those things. Like,
I love it.
Like, I don't have some of those things, but like, from just watching, man, I love Mounts. I really do love Mounts. I love the guy a lot. I like to meet him. Like, fam, I just feel like he's someone like, I just like the guy a lot, man. Even my jersey, I haven't gotten that yet, but like, my jersey is going to have me a smile on the back of it. So like, I like the guy a lot. I really, really do. Imagine me getting a Mason Mount shirt over a Jorginho shirt. It means a lot. I mean, obviously, Jorginho, I prefer Jorginho to Mount. But I mean, I digress. Pulisic has to start today. There isn't really too much justification for it. You get what I mean? And like, the thing is, I see a lot of people attacking people like, I don't like to name drop because I don't think it's particularly necessary. But I see a lot of people attacking people like Alex Goldberg for not producing the same and keeping the same energy. And I have said a lot of this keep the same energy thing for I think I don't know if it was on our episode, but I've said it recently that even it's not a thing where like you have to. Bottom line is you have to like know the fact that Alex tweeted out something about bias, and that was absolutely spot on. It was bang on, spot on. I can't think of any other word to use or any phrase to use to say how accurate that tweet was. everyone has a bias. Do you get what I mean? It's easy for people to not be complete. Obviously, I'm biased towards Jorginho. Do you get what I mean? But like, I'm not completely biased. He's biased to most of the youth players, so you can't really expect Alex to like come out with the same energy for Pulisic, the same way he had for Callum Hudson-Odoi last season. Obviously, it's meant to be objective and everything, but imagine if Alex had done the same thing for Pulisic. A lot of people would be like, oh, because he's American, he's in a difficult position. Do you get what I mean? And that's the same thing for a lot of people. Yeah. But for me, man, there isn't really a justification for him to not play. But if he doesn't play once again, I wouldn't be too upset. You get what I mean? I'm going to give it some time. I mean, yeah, definitely, like, he was excellent against Ajax, man. Like, he brought the energy that... I mean, we had a solid performance, but he brought... I might get attacked in the comments, but I wouldn't say Hazard-level energy to the game, but he brought energy to the game that allowed us to win that match. No, we weren't winning that match if Pulisic didn't come on. Do you get what I mean? He got this energy, this new energy with the running at people, and like he releases the ball so late that it creates so much space. He doesn't like have the dribbling that Hazard does that attracts people to him. He holds it for so long and so well and delivers these fantastic late balls to people that will give them enough space to do what they need to do. But I mean, he has to start, man. And obviously, like I said, I love Mount a lot, but Mount has to. I think he needs to sit this one out personally. He might have to.
I think, once again, definitely agree with you, man. In regard, just quick point on that Ajax match. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, see what happened. You know, should have started Pulisic. You know, see the stuff that he brings straight." And I'd say, yes, he definitely should start more. But I think Frank played that game perfectly to the T. I feel like, he wanted to hold Ajax at the bay as long as possible, hanging in the game as long as possible. And then he brought in his masterpiece when he saw that the game was there to be won. I think he gave Pulisic close to 30 minutes. He came on around the 62nd or 64th minute. Batshuayi came on around 70th minute. So I feel like that was his plan. He didn't want to get Pulisic starting from the get-go because he needed someone like Mount to, press Ajax and make sure that they're in check all the time. And that's something that, I feel like if Pulisic, and this is the other thing, I feel he's more dangerous in the number 10 position where Mount generally plays. As you said, he has this ability to hold the ball very, very late and then boom, the pass comes through, allowing for other players all the time to pick out a spot and score. So I feel like, that position is very, very key for him. And if he's going to play that position, Frank needs him to press like the way Mount presses.
That's not possible.
And it's not possible at the moment. And this is something hopefully Pulisic can slowly and surely develop. Maybe not this season, maybe next season. But it's something I feel like Frank wants from the number 10. A lot of people talk about, number 10's got to be a creative player. Number 10's got to be this. Number 10's got to be that. As you said, the B Tech license, the UEFA license holders.
No, I didn't say that. Yeah, you just call them B Tech licenses. No, that is bad, man. No.
What I'm saying is that not every number 10 has to be, the creative Ronaldinho type. There are different types of 10s. You don't have to be.
What I've been trying to drive at. People don't a lot of people come onto this platform. Now, I don't want to go on the rant. That's my rant voice. You get what I mean? A lot of people come onto this platform and just come out and be like, oh, it's my attempt to be so creative. And I asked for my podcast. Mount is 19, 20. And look at how he has some what's the word? Defined attributes. Is that I don't know if that's correct. He has
that's the word.
Yeah. And they are so obvious and fantastic to have. And like I said, Michele and Ollie didn't particularly agree with me fully, but I said if he kept on only working on those attributes, he would kind of become a specialist 10. Do you get what I mean? Because I don't know, you have all-round 10s like Paulo Dybala. I love that guy. Do you get what I mean? He can do the pressing game. He can give you that good pass. He can give you goals. He can give you assists. Mount is more specialist at the moment. He can obviously add more to his game. But people say he should be more creative. What exactly are you asking him to do? Like, what does it mean to be more creative? I want to understand what that sentence means. Does it mean to be passing like says Fabregas? Because I'm sorry, Fabregas is generational. How many people have ever been able? I mean, a lot of people say I use the word generational wrongly, but like, how many people can pass or have been able to pass as well as Fabregas has ever done? Do you get what I mean? Fabregas delivered some. Like, do you remember that pass he gave to Schürrle? Was it in 2014?
Oh wow!
How many players? Even like Ozil would never give a pass like that. So I mean, I don't know if it's because Chelsea players are used to seeing players like Jorginho or Fabregas or like Ozil or I don't know what it is, but like that Mount can't do that. That is not his game. Not his game whatsoever. You ask me for more assists. That guy is fantastic at set pieces. It's just because Callum is back. Obviously, Callum is going to take over them. But like, do you get what? Michaelis is double riots, fam. But like, I mean, bottom line is like, the thing is like, for me, I don't understand that argument. When people say Mount isn't like they should add more to. I don't know what it is. I really don't get what it is. I just think obviously you can add more to his game and like get better passing in and everything. But when I feel like I could make an entire episode on this number 10 talk thing on my phone.
Yeah.
Like,
We probably should.
I mean, you heard it here first. What does it mean to be more creative? I need to understand what that means. I want to understand what that means. I just need to understand what it means. But yeah, that's my opinion anyways.
Look, I think you've nailed it, man. The way you've just described that. Maybe a lot of the fans that we have has already seen, players like this, Cesc Fabregas, and the other talents that we have, and they expect the same thing from a 20-year-old. Let's not forget this kid is not finished yet. Like he's got a lot to develop. So
he's so defined already. No. Give him cut
him some slack and understand his role. I don't think people are understanding his role, and that seems to be the problem. Anyway, we've talked a lot about Pulisic. We've talked a lot about Mount. Let's get back to the Burnley situation. What are you expecting, man? We're away from home. They're generally quite difficult to beat.
There's a bunch of pests.
I'm still confident we're going to beat them. First of all, what I want to ask you is your score prediction, and secondly, what I want to ask you is how are we playing this game in your mind? How are you picturing this in your mind?
Score prediction. And James, I'm not shameless, by the way. I just stab him. I don't get bombarded. That's my phone number. I'm not going to
I'll do that.
Get in. I mean, my score prediction for today, I think it has to be like Burnley are 9th or 8th or something, right? Yeah, no joke.
I think they're top 10. I think they're top 10.
Yeah, definitely top 10. I think it's 9th or 8th or something like that, but I reckon, what are you saying? I think 2-3-1. I think 3-1 is a bit. That's me getting a bit. Nah, let's call it 2-0. 2-0.
That's it. Clean sheet, baby.
Clean sheet, yeah. I'm hoping. I mean, to keep on against Ajax. My only problem with this Burnley match is those guys are set piece merchants. Like, we haven't really, like, defensively, we've improved, yeah, but what is Lampard going to do to improve us set piece wise? Do you get what I mean? I don't know how we're going to defend, except like we don't get. The only way to defend set pieces at this point for Chelsea FC is to not concede a set piece. You understand what I mean? That's the only way I can think of defending a set piece at the moment. But because those guys are not like, that's how they win games. Like their set pieces are like next level. Do you get what I mean? Like, that's all they do: set pieces. And what's a major defensive error at the moment? Set pieces. So like, I mean, I'm not gonna go 2-0 because like I'm getting a bit too gassed, yeah, and I'm just trying to be optimistic. So let's see how that goes. I hope they don't let me down still.
No, absolutely. And so how do you? So you're going with 2-0 as your score prediction. You think it's going to be the usual? Burnley will probably sit there. We'll have the ball mostly, and we're going to have to find ways to try and figure out a way to break them open, and obviously look out for the counter. And as you said, the set pieces are going to be huge for them. Is that how you sort of picture it as well?
The thing is, like, for me, I mean, people are not good, so people might not agree with me. I mean, I don't want to be harsh on Willian, but I think we need Mount in this game once again. I really, really, honestly think we need Mount, and that's not because I have bias towards him. Because, like, if you hear me at the beginning, even before the season started, and like when Mason, I have bashed him a bit, yeah, definitely. But like I said, I pride myself in being realistic. I'm not optimistic. I'm not pessimistic. I say how it is, and I think his energy, like once again, like you said with Pulisic can press, but Mount pressing. I don't think anyone better is pressing in that squad. Personally, that's what I think. I mean, Tammy has really good pressing, but like no one pressing is as good as Mount. And I think we would need it against the Burnley side that aren't really going to sit back. They're going to try and play their football a bit so they can at least progress into our third to get some dangerous set pieces in. But I think Mount is going to be needed. I don't know. I don't want to be harsh on Willian, but man, just sit on the bench from like. I don't know, like, just like sit on the bench or something. Like, just sit on the bench. Like, I mean, if you could sit on the bench, that'd be pretty. Like, Callum, Pulisic, Abraham, Mount just behind. Now, that's what I'd love to see today. But what we're going to see, I don't think Lampard's going to bench Mount. But I mean, I won't be surprised if he does. But yeah, I mean, 2-0, and we're going to play our football definitely. And Burnley are going to try and play theirs as well to at least progress to the final third to be able to get some set pieces going. But yeah, it's definitely not going to be a Newcastle show for sure. They're going to try and play the football.
No, man, you're right. And, the fan base is quite split on this situation. I saw a really, really nice video. By the way, guys, massive shout out to Son of Chelsea. Do subscribe to his channel as well. He's doing some amazing work over there. And his video, he was saying that he was going to have the same thing where you said, Mason Mount and drop Willian. Matisse and a few other people that we generally talk to has said he would actually drop Mount and have Pulisic.
Yeah. And
the fan base is quite split in that. And I can see both sides of the coin. I can see both sides of the
coin. Bars! That's called bars, man!
So I understand exactly what you're saying in terms of pressing, because Burnley are going to sit deep. So whenever they do get the ball, let's press and let's get the ball straight away and let's create chaos right away. So I understand from that point of view why people would want Mount. I also understand why people wouldn't want Mount is because you will have the ball a lot of the time. And Mount, let's face it, with all the qualities that he does have, the one thing he probably doesn't have is the creativity of Pulisic. And having the ball
Sorry, Miz, I don't want to cut you off just there I'm so sorry, but that sentence, for me, obviously, I understood that sentence well, but some people might misinterpret what you're saying.
Yes.
Mount on his day, I mean, from Derby, he showed a very fantastic range of passing. But when it comes to killer balls that people associate with creativity, that is where people better him. And that's why I should mention that, because a lot of people, like, I've seen the thing on Twitter where I understand what people are saying, but it can be easily taken out of context. So yeah, let me just say that. Yeah,
no, absolutely. Well said, man. Thanks for clarifying that, because you're right. People could misinterpret that.
Yeah.
Yes, Mount definitely has the range of passing, but it's that killer pass that's going to open up for a goal, and he can still develop it. Going back to my point is we're going to have the ball a lot, hopefully, and someone like Pulisic is going to be very instrumental, with the ball. So I see both sides. I see both sides here, and for me, personally, man, I would actually drop Mount for this because I want Willian. Yeah. I know Willian wasn't evident at all against Ajax. It was a off match that he had. But I love his work rate. One of the main reasons I feel our right side has been compact in recent times is because of his combination with Azpilicueta. The amount of times Willian has tracked back to win the ball when Azpi was a bit out of position. Man, that. A lot of people don't see these things, and this is why I do my threads. You've noticed, people just watch the game. They see the ball, but they don't see what else is happening away from the ball.
Around the ball,
Around the ball, away from the ball. and it's difficult when you're watching a match live. It's very difficult to capture everything. Things are moving so quickly, so it's always helpful to watch the match, and that's why I spend time a little bit to watch the match at least one more time to see these things. And I've seen so many times where Willian tracks back and makes sure Azpilicueta is not exposed. And that's the quality that I like, and I would like to see that in this match as well. And that's the only reason where I would drop Mount, because I feel like we don't. I think both Willian and Kalamatanatori press really well as it is. Kovacic and Jorginho press really well as well. So we don't really necessarily need another presser against a team that's not really going to build up from the back. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
Forward, and they're not really going to build it from the back, and that's my only reason. We're going to have the ball, and we need Pulisic to, basically open them up. Now,
I agree with you definitely, man. Because you have. I think it was my bias speaking a bit there when I mentioned Mount. I can see how Mount would be used in the game if he does play, because he always adds more to the game. I'm not such a fan of Willian, so that kind of. But realistically, I think Mount should be dropped as well. I think he should be. And to rest as well. I think he should be dropped. But that's just me.
Look, there's two stories, and as I've said, there's fan bases that are looking at it in both ways, and that's fine, man. Number one thing is to be always respectful of each other's points. Now, thank you so much for this fantastic episode. Before we go, I want you to take this opportunity. This is your time to tell us everything that you're up to, all the things you get up to with your podcast. One thing I want to say to everyone that's going to tune in on this episode right now, and also that have already tuned in, please listen to the Fulham Road podcast. One of the best podcasts out there. Honestly saying, very, very underrated. Love the quality that Dami and Josh provides over there, and the quality of guests that's coming in is fabulous. It's a best time to spend going to work or coming back from work. Fantastic time well spent. Now, giving you the opportunity to say a few things, Dami.
Right now, thank you. Like, for me, right now, Twitter has been growing like a lot more. I'm still a relatively small account on Twitter, but like I've gained so many followers this last month. Like, it's almost, I think, in like 1/3 or almost twice my followers this month alone. So things are going really, really fast for me. And obviously the podcast is doing a lot better now. And we've also partnered with SW6 Daily, which is massive, absolutely massive for me. So for me right now, just keep on following. No major surprises. There's some stuff I'm working on. I'll sit here first. Some players on. But let's leave that for now. That's work in progress. But nothing too massive is happening at the moment. I just want to say thank you to because I see some of the names in chat are quite familiar for me. But I just want to thank for all the support, man. Miss as well is one of my biggest supporters. Even before I had like 100 followers, like I really appreciate it. Honestly, really, really do. But that's me right now. Nothing too special going on.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. There's plenty of things special about you, and this is what I like about football Twitter. There's some absolute gems, man, that don't necessarily have the largest following, but they're the best people to talk to. You're one of them. There are quite a few other ones that I've recently been interacting with. To be honest, we all know there are quite a few large ones as well. Not always the best to interact with.
I prefer not to speak. I will be in very big trouble. Big trouble. It's sky blue.
We won't mention
no names.
Nonetheless, thank you so much, brother. Just a quick shout out before we go as well. Thank you to every single one of you guys who's joined: Ramit, Michaela, James, Amia, Adam. We've got Kamal. We've got fan chat. The football fan chat was here as well.
Me as well.
So yeah, thank you so much, guys, for joining. We had a really, really nice turnout today. Wasn't really expecting it. Obviously, it was just we got this show together very, very quickly. But yeah, it's been fantastic. Thank you so much, and hope to see you all very, very soon. See ya.